Welcome to the Shed and Shine podcast. I am Gino Wickman. This is where Rob Dube and I help driven entrepreneurs shed their shit, free their true selves, unlock true entrepreneurial freedom, and shine. We truly appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and we hope to make a huge impact on you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rob Dube, and I am here with my good friend Gino Wickman in the studio. We're together. I'm very happy to be able to do this with you in person.
For the first time ever.
That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
Eyeball to eyeball, baby.
I had a dream that we'd do this. You remember that?
I remember you sharing what you hoped. I can't remember that it was. I don't remember it
wasn't
dream.
an actual sleeping dream, but it was a dream that we would actually be able to produce this podcast in person.
That I remember.
And you told me no way we were doing that. But here we are.
Yes.
I guess I got my way. So
you did.
The two of us are fresh off of our sabbatical.
Mm-hmm.
You were off all of August. I was off most of August. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious what you did with your time. But before you answer, I do want to say one thing. We're going to share a little bit about what each other did, but then we're going to kind of get into the practical matter of how you set yourself up for a sabbatical. But we wanted to start this way. So what did you do?
So what did I do? It's funny, I get asked that every time. So I've been doing a sabbatical for almost 25 years now. I take the month of August off every year. And every one is different. So it's never the same thing. And a lot of times people will ask, where'd you go? That's their first question. And I say, I didn't go anywhere. The idea behind a sabbatical for me, we're all different, is to just simply not work. And so I keep a very normal life. And so I always describe how what it's all about for me is family, friends, and myself. And so that's what I do is I spend time with my family, I spend time with my friends, and I spend time with myself. And I just don't do any work. I don't think about work. And so every sabbatical is different, like I said. Every outcome's different. There's always something profound that happens in each one. But now I want to jump to the answer to your question, which is, what did I do? Rob, I did nothing. I did nothing. This was the laziest sabbatical I've ever had. I was lazy and I did nothing. So I want to explain that. Same drill. It was family, friends, and myself. But one of the things I do on sabbatical is I always kind of create this wish list of things I would love to get done during the sabbatical. Again, they're all personal related, and that might be reading a book or getting a project done around the house, whatever it is. It's a bunch of different stuff. So I went into this sabbatical with about 25 things on my list, and I did about 2 of them. I did nothing. It was so good. And so what I just did is I simply did whatever came every day. So I just went with whatever came up. So again, I keep saying it, a lot of time with family, friends, and myself. But I will share one thing I did that was really cool. And one of the 25 things was in all this wonderful work we've done with Shine and, my last 4 years of digging deep. And I talk about when I put on my suit of armor at age 15. Prior to that, again, I was a very creative, sensitive kid. But from age 9 to 14, I was very artistic. And so I used to draw, paint, and I was pretty darn good at it. So I went back to that. I went back to being 14 years old. And I spent a bit of time just getting lost in, we have a church next to us. We live in a downtown area, and I drew the church. And I just spent a lot of time with colors and drawing, and that was just really cool. But short answer, I did nothing. And I loved it. And then the profound thing I think that came out of it is just simply, I realize I'm just simply resting right now. I'm just getting ready for the next thing. I talk more about this in one of my riffs, and I think it's going to air before this, so everybody will know what that means at this point. But just feel like I'm resting and getting ready for the next thing that calls me. So for what that's worth.
So are you up for sharing with me one of your pictures at some point? I would love to see one. Or are you not ready to do that?
I'll share it
yet?
with you.
We won't put it out to the world.
No.
Gino.
Oh, I will absolutely share it with you. I'll share one
So
with
excited.
you. Yeah, I'll text it to you.
Yeah.
So you just need to remind me. Text me and I'll text you
Okay.
one of them.
Okay. So let me share a little bit about what.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was just horrible? I mean, just like awful. You know, like
No.
a stick figure, a round head on a stick body.
That would be fun. I have a lot of follow-up questions, but we don't have enough time for that kind of thing.
That's
just the way
true.
it is.
But here's what I would like to ask though. So what did you do? So
Yeah.
what's so cool is you and I both returned from our sabbatical at the same time. I took 5 weeks off, by the way. Another interesting thing. Mine have always been kind of 4 week, the full month of August. So
Yeah.
5 weeks these last 2 years, which is kind of cool. And I do start getting really itchy on the 5th week and ready to come back. So I really felt that stirring, which was kind of cool. Like just like ready to get back at it. So, but what did you do? Tell us.
Well, the first thing I wanted to mention, I was thinking about this, and you don't know this about me, but I was actually taking sabbaticals before you knew me.
What?
Yeah, I would go away. Did you know that?
No,
You didn't know that
I
about
did
me,
not
did
know
you?
that.
Yeah.
No.
So I would go away for about 3 weeks.
Oh, cool.
And my business partner at the time, Joel, he would get super mad at me. And there was no technology
I know Joel
back
well.
then.
Yeah.
You know, so he thought it was so ridiculous that like I wasn't going to talk to him on the phone. I didn't want to know anything about business. And so I felt really guilty about the whole thing. So I stopped. And then I started picking it up a little bit, you know, as I got older again and got to know you and being inspired by you. So anyway, that just popped up for me. And you and I had a similar experience. But I want to start by saying the first thing I did, literally the first day of sabbatical, is I got on a plane and I went to see somebody that I do psychedelic therapy with.
Oh, cool.
And so I did a journey. So that was a day. And then I came back and we did a lot of integration over the month.
Nice.
So that was really great. I intentionally allowed myself to wake up at whatever time I woke up, and I wanted to see what time that would be. I was curious about that, what my body needed. And I had no plans. I had not one commitment, and I woke up and just let the day unfold. So whatever I felt like doing in the present moment is what I ended up doing. So sometimes I was doing some writing, and that's my drawing. I love writing, so I was doing some writing. I was doing some reading and catching up on some things. I was listening to some podcasts that I hadn't listened to before. And I got out in nature a lot more than I usually get to. I did a lot of hiking. It was just so great. And swam in Lake Michigan. I don't do enough of that and all that kind of good stuff. I think I could have gone 2 more weeks is what I think I could have done. Yeah, I felt like I wasn't quite ready to come back. So, but I was really grateful that I was able to do it. And most importantly, I spent an awful lot of time with Emily, my wife.
Nice.
That was beautiful. We really had great fun connection together every single day. So,
You know, if
you go.
you're done with your list, you prompted a few thoughts because I love how specific you were. You know, with saying I did nothing. You know, I played 3 or 4 rounds of golf, lots of dinners with my wife in terms of going out to dinner, a lot of time with my kids. We did some babysitting of our grandson. I read 2 books, and what's great is they were just history books. So that really cool. Just on the death of Lincoln, and then a great book about Elvis Presley, John Lennon, and Muhammad Ali. I mean, just some great historical, fascinating stuff.
good one.
So that was a lot of fun. Just got lost in those. Kathy and I did go away. We went away for 6 days to the Berkshires, stayed at a resort there, which was really cool. And like you said, a lot of time with my wife, Kathy.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So, you know, one of the things I was thinking about in terms of logistics of all this, when you first started taking sabbatical, what were some of the challenges that you were facing around doing that and being prepared for it? Like just feeling comfortable stepping away. And because I think there's a lot of great lessons out there for people. That's a big fear of theirs.
Yeah. And is this where, are we going to talk in this question about the process? Because I can't answer that without getting into the process. Because when you talk about challenges,
Yeah.
you know, I'm an odd duck because there weren't any challenges. In other words, when I make the decision, it's other people's challenges, not mine. I'm taking the frickin' month off. So this started for me when my daughter was born. So this goes all the way back to my mid-20s. When my daughter was born, I took the month off and experienced it for the first time. And so I am really comfortable taking time off. And at that time, I was selling real estate. And in that month, I probably lost 2 deals. And then the person that was handling my business, I had to pay 50% of my commission to them. So I lost thousands of dollars taking the month off, and I don't give a shit. In other words, it's like that is like so minor. And so when you talk about challenges, it just makes me think about driven entrepreneurs and thinking about taking the month off. They're thinking about, what am I going to lose? Business loss, things like that. It's like, that's irrelevant to me. That like doesn't even factor into my mind. So with that said, I don't view it as challenges. I view it as a process. So when I got that taste of turning the world off for a month during a very busy time, so very busy in my 20s, what I simply do, if we want to articulate this as a process, is I just have a great support system. First of all, I have an amazing assistant that runs my life, and I don't know how you take a sabbatical without an assistant. So I think it's like non-negotiable for anyone out there that's thinking of taking a sabbatical, because you can never access email on a sabbatical. It's not a sabbatical if you read a business email. So the first thing is, I've got a great team that supports me. In building EOS Worldwide, I had a great integrator that ran the day-to-day of that business. And so I was able to leave, and the show went on. Were there issues that arose? Yes. One time, remember one sabbatical, there was an issue with my book Traction, and somebody that wrote a book called Traction, and my partner didn't understand and thought that was illegal. Well, you can put any title on any book. And so there was like a legal battle that happened while I was gone. And if I were there, I would have shut it down in 1 second, because I would have said, this is no big deal. And so, the attorneys got involved. We're paying an attorney. Anyway, long story short, stuff's going to happen. I don't care. So those aren't challenges to me. So I have a great team in place. And then I prepare that team well. I'm so adamant about, I jokingly say, the FBI can't find me on sabbatical. And so everybody knows that I'm turning the world off. I'm not thinking about business. Solve your business problems. Unless the whole thing's going to come crashing down, you can't call me, So that is a part of preparation. And then the last thing that I would share is, after you've done it for 20 plus years, everyone in my life, everyone knows I'm on sabbatical in August. And so the beauty is, the more you do this, every year you do this, the easier it gets, because everybody's just conditioned. People just know they can't get a hold of me. And then the one thing that happened with texting is texts pierce the shield. And so before texting, nobody could get to me. Now, unfortunately, with this phone that I have, a text can come through. I'm very disciplined about, if it's a business-related text, I just immediately reply and say I'm on sabbatical, because everybody knows I am, and urge them to reach out to Karen if they need something, or I'll respond, in this case on September 3rd, I think was the date back. So those are kind of the preparation items that make it a great sabbatical for me.
So let me build on preparation, because
please.
There are some teachings out there, and we teach it around taking a test run. So it sounds to me like you jumped in and just did it. You had the right pieces in place. For those that are looking for other ways of doing it, you can start by setting your intentions with your team in advance, like as far in advance as a year. Let them know, next year at this time, I'm taking a 30-day sabbatical. And between that time and the year, you maybe start with 1 week where you are just totally off. They can't contact you, and see how it goes. Come back, download with them. How did it go? What came up? What could we do differently next time? Then expand it out to 2 weeks a few months later, and then do another 2 week, and then do the full sabbatical. So just really getting the team in the right mindset, getting yourself in the right mindset, testing it all out, and seeing how it all unfolds, so you can work out the kinks. Because ultimately, once you're on that 30-day or however long sabbatical, which is actually a question I have for you, we'll come back to that, you, as Gino says, the FBI shouldn't be able to find you. So any other thoughts?
No, where I'm compelled to go to now is the benefits, but I don't think you're going there yet. But I'd love to, before we wrap up, I would just love to just share two really big benefits, because my
Let me
hopes
ask
is
you
to-
one
yeah.
question. Let's
Please,
go to benefits.
Yeah.
What amount of time is a sabbatical? I was
I
thinking about
love that. I love that question. So it's really great, because another one of my business partners could never take time off. And so he texted me and he said he's going on a 7-day sabbatical. And I laughed so loud. And then, I can't remember now if this was a conversation I think it might've been a verbal conversation. I laughed so hard. And then I won't say the name to protect the innocent, but I just said, I said the name. A 7-day sabbatical is a vacation. Okay, that's a vacation, of which this person rarely ever took a vacation, so they can't even comprehend. So in my simple little mind, 14 days or less is a vacation, 3 weeks or more is a sabbatical. That's my simple way of looking at it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks or more, everyone. Work towards that.
Yes.
And go for at least 30 days. I like that.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I'll share one more thing on that, because I don't believe, for me, the benefits of the sabbatical kick in like week 3. In other words, to completely decompress and shift your energy and shed all the business stuff. It's still in there for 2 weeks, So it's like week 3 is when you really start to go to this place where like, I am free from work right now. So if nothing else, that's why that time frame is so important.
That's good. All right, so let's move to benefits.
Yeah, so as you're talking, I just want to make sure this is clear, because what I hope, again, I'm a teacher at heart. I want to motivate our audience of driven entrepreneurs to do this, not so that they can say they did, not for some selfish benefit, not for some... This will make you a better entrepreneur. This will make you a better leader. This will make you a better person. It's so vital, because number one, what it does is it helps you completely recharge. Okay. And so I always talk about how when I go on sabbatical, I do everything in my power to forget what I do for a living. And I literally do, because what I hope is that I'm still motivated to do what I do. And if I ever don't feel motivated, then I will switch on a dime what I do for a living. And so thank God, every year I come back, I still want to do that. The point is, by turning it off to that degree, you completely recharge everything, your body, your soul, your brain, all of it. And so you come back fully recharged. I believe I'm further ahead by taking that month off every year in the last 25 years than thinking about what revenue did I miss out on, or what opportunities did I miss out on in those months, those 20-something months that I was away in the last 20-something years. And then the second thing that came to me that I'm eager to share is, if you ever want to sell your business, if you can leave your business for 30 days and it still runs, I wish I could give you the math, but my quick math would say your business is worth at least 10% more. Okay. And so if you build a business that is not dependent on you, there will be more buyers. It will be worth more. And if your business can sustain for a month without you, you're really close to having a self-sustaining business. So for what that's worth, that should motivate somebody. So any revenue you think you're missing out on, you'll 10x it on the back end in terms of increasing the value of your business.
I think 2 additional things that come to my mind. First is your mind gets very clear. And so when you come back, you have a different kind of energy without question. Better ideas, new things that you want to get focused on, super focused, actually, just an amazing focus when you get back. The other thing that I love about it is there's some team development that takes place, because you have now completely empowered your team to handle all the responsibilities with you gone, so they know it's all on them. And that is such a great gift to give to your team. Yeah, go ahead.
But that gets to the point I'm making about your company will be worth more, because you elevated leaders, got them to think for themselves, run that company without you, and that's what people want to buy.
You got it. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up.
We've said it all. We've said it all.
All right. Great. Thank you for joining us on the Shed and Shine podcast. We're so grateful to you. And as we always like to say, stay focused and much love.
Thank you for listening in today. We truly appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and please tune in for the next episode. Until then, if you'd like to see where you are on your true self journey, go to shedandshinepodcast.com to take the true self assessment and receive personalized guidance. If you're all ready to begin your inner world journey with Rob and myself, please join us for the next round of the 10 Disciplines group coaching program. We wish you all the best in freeing your true self. Stay focused and much love.